still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. Really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck.
What is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. It's Wednesday, you know what I mean? Wednesday evening. That means we're picking every NFL game this season. You know what I mean? Some of them might slide by a little bit because some of them are just boring to me, you know what I mean? But we're going to talk that. We're going to talk Packers, Bears, anything that you want to talk about in the live chat. Hammer the chat, and let's see what we got over here. But before we start this thing off, let's give a little shout out to some sponsors over here. Quick Trip, the greatest gas station of all time, you know what I mean? And they're doing good things, you know what I mean? They got some deals going on. Check the Quick Rewards app, and you can find out all the things all the goodies and all the stuff they got going on. They're giving away money. They give away vehicles all the time. They give away a lot of good stuff. People don't even know about it. So check out the Quick Rewards app. Get yourself some good stuff over there. And I was there today. I got some mac and cheese waiting on me when I go up, you know what I mean? And also, Nicolay Law, if you get injured, you're missing work, things ain't going well for you, you need some help, check out nicolaylaw.com. They're going to help you. They're the people around town. You know, they're in the community. They know how it is, you know what I mean? They're going to hook you up. So check out nicolaylaw.com if you need them. Hopefully you don't, you know what I mean? But happy Wednesday, you know what I mean, people? You know what I mean? And we got Kevin, the first comment, as this thing was even rolling out. Kevin says, now we're back from New York. We brought back Jordan Riley, 2023 draft pick, 6'5", 315 pounds with 5 starts last year. You know what I mean? We were going to talk about this, but great way to start the show. The Packers did add a little zoom, you know what I mean? And that Wyatt being out is, it's not good. It's not good. You know what I mean? There's no way to downplay it. Wyatt being out is bad. So, they kind of add a little some right there. And like Kevin says right here, you know what I mean? With 5 starts last year, I don't know a lot about him. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? But hopefully, whether he's a death piece or whatever they have planned for him. But they gotta figure that out, especially with the Bears. They were very running heavy, you know what I mean, against the Eagles over here. So So hammer the chat. We're obviously gonna talk some Packers Bears tonight. Say what's up to Vinny. Vinny, pop in here for a minute.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Vinny? You know what I mean? You having a good time?
I'm doing really good, actually. I'm having a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last night. Hey, hats off to Jimmy. It was fun having him on. He's a really good guy. It was nice meeting him.
Yeah, he's above average. But so what are your thoughts? You know, it's Packers Bears week. A lot of heat. A lot of heat been thrown around, you know what I mean? A lot of Bears fans, first of all, Bear fans talk so much. I mean, I know Packer fans do too, and I do for sure. And I'm not talking nearly as much this week as I normally do, because Bears fans are just so annoying. First of all, Bears fans are not saying anything to me that's like, hey, we're going to win because of this. We're going to win because of that. You can't stop our run, or you can't do this. It's none of that. It's just talking trash about Jordan Love and saying this and that. They're saying everything except for talking about the game of football. So it's just weird to me. So what are your thoughts right here?
Well, there was one here. You know, like you said, the Bears fans like to just take jabs at you for anything. And to me, it feels like they're just digging for anything right now just to get at you. And there was one on your Facebook feed that just drove me nuts. And I wanted to bring this up. Jordan Love being the offensive player of the week, and you had someone comment you that was a Bears fan that said, oh, that'll change quick. How does that change quick? You can't take away an award.
Yeah, they're not going to take it away. That's the thing, with a lot of Bears fans is they don't even make sense half the time that they're talking trash. Because I'm a trash talker. I'll talk my talk, and if people talk it and they talk it better, or whatever, and they get me, because there's certain things that Viking fans and Bear fans can say that kind of get us like from the past or whatever. But they're not saying anything that's even making sense, or like as digs, and it's not good. I don't know. I feel like Bears fans were much better at talking trash back in the day. Because when I first started doing this, like Packers stuff, that was like my whole thing, making fun of the Bears because I don't like the Bears. And I was on Bears podcasts. I know a lot of Bears fans who are cool. And then, but like, it seems like right now there's a whole new generation of Bears fans who just like found Twitter or social media, or they weren't Bears fans. They weren't proud of it before, but now they're, they think they're good. So they're going to come out here and talk. I don't know what it is, but, they're not really intelligent. You know what I mean? And I say that nicely, you know what I mean? Respectfully. Just
and
not
one,
real intelligent.
and one more
Just
thing
not
I
good.
want to say, and one more thing, if you'll allow me to have my own Alleluia moment here, Matt. Seriously. Now,
What do you
remember the
got? What do
movie?
you got?
Remember the movie Smokey and the Bandit when Bandit says, "I don't think we're gonna make it," and the Snowman says, "You know what? Well, they don't know the Snowman. Well, they're about to know him. Well, Bears fans are about to know Vinny." Okay. Now, right here, the Thanksgiving game. Okay, I'm going to show you how popular the Packers are, Bears fans. 47.7 million viewers. The most watched early Thanksgiving Day game on record. It peaked big time. It's the most watched regular season game ever on Fox. Eat it, Bears fans. Eat it. Vinny says eat it. Okay, I need a Tylenol now. Okay.
No, but you do. That's a lot of people to watch Lion fans cry. That was my first thought about it. Like, it's a lot of people to watch Lion fans cry.
Thanks, Matt. I feel better now. Thank you.
What's up, Rick? We get into the chat over here. He says, "Good evening, Matt and Vince. Cheers. I appreciate you, Rick. Thanks
Cheers.
for being here." And Hype Television says, "Ramage, damage." We're out here. You know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna pick some football games tonight. You know what I mean? Well, feel free to chat about the Packer Bear game coming up. And I will say this, because one thing that I've noticed, because I've been doing this for a long time, talking about Packers, Bears, and whatnot, is Packers and Bears fans kind of say the same stuff to each other. They're like, "Why do you always talk about us? You're always talking about us." Well, first of all, this week that's a stupid thing to say, and I think I might have said it once because, they were annoying me. But, yeah, we play each other this week. We're going to talk about each other once in a while. And then that's the thing that kind of irritates me about Bears fans is, like, they never really, like, you could say it, the Packers are going to beat the Bears because Jordan Love's going to unleash his Toyota-thon, whatever. And then they'll come back with, like talking about something other than, like, football. It's just, like, they're just, like, insults or whatever. But they're not saying, "No, you're not going to do that because our defense is this, our defense is that, we're going to do this and stop you." That's the thing. It's like this rivalry is so much hatred that no one's even talking football. They're just like, "Yo, the Bears haven't won since '85," and then they're like, "Yeah, you had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and only won 2 rings," and then it's kind of the same little stupid insult.
My mom could beat
we're
up
having
your
a good
mom.
time with it.
That's if my mom could beat up your mom.
Yeah. It just kind of gets like the same old, you know what I mean? But anyways, what's up, Raymond? So I live here in Chicago and a Packers fan. The problem, these Bears fans don't talk football. Fact, just a bunch of bandwagons that can't even name the players. And I don't know if that's the case, but you're there. So you know what I mean? I trust you. It just seems like that's how this rivalry has been brewing, is like people, it just insults. And I think the Packers fans, a lot of ways, kind of do the same thing. It just, maybe we're just so tired of talking to each other that we just say whatever. Eric says Packers defense will win this game. Offense will keep momentum from last week. And that's the thing. Like, we're going to talk a lot about this Packers-Bears game when we do the picks. But that's the thing, is the Packers defense is going to get in, keep at it. There's no way that the Bears are going to run the ball against a Packers defense like they did against the Eagles. That's just not going to happen, right? And then the Packers offense just got to keep, do enough. You don't need miracles, people. You don't need miracles. I expect the Packers offense to do their thing. I expect Jordan Love to throw like 3 touchdowns. I expect it to happen, but the defense is going to hold down. So if it doesn't happen on offense, if the offense does come a little bit sluggish, I have full faith in this.
And you know what? And adding
defense.
Riley to the mix, the new guy, he doesn't have to do much. He just has to hold his own in that one spot.
I mean, I don't know how they plan to use him, if they plan to use him and then right away. You know what I mean? If he's a depth piece, I don't know the whole situation, but yeah, they need a plan there with Wyatt being out. You know what I mean? Packers Driven says Packers by 6. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a close game. All right, so we're going to get to a few other chat over here, and then we're gonna start breaking down some games over here. We'll be here all night. You know what I mean? Can Micah get to Caleb Williams? Absolutely can. But I will say, Caleb Williams very hard to sack. Right? Caleb Williams can move around the pocket. He can make like physical moves like that. Not everyone can do. You know, he can. He can make you miss a little bit. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, he can. He's good scrambling around. So but I think he can't outrun Micah Parsons, baby. You know what I mean? Matt, who do you have, Lions or Cowboys? All right, we're actually, that's a great comment, Joseph. Let's springboard us right into the Pick'em show right here, there, Vinny. You know what I mean? So that's the first game, Thursday Night Football. We will be live. Doing a live watch party for that game, but we have the Cowboys heading on to Detroit City to take on the Cowboys. I already said that part, but so I got the Cowboys in this game, but that's more that's kind of a biased pick. I do think that the Lions, so the Lions are sitting here at 7-5, Cowboys 6-5-1. And but the Lions are gonna be fired up. They just got swept by the Packers. Like things ain't going well over there. We got Campbell punching holes in walls. You know what I mean? It's in disarray. But they're gonna be fired up. All right, they're not out of the playoffs. I kind of made some jokes trying to get Lion fans fired up, say that they're done from the playoffs, but they're not. They're 7-5. They're in the hunt. So they're back against the wall a little bit. What's that?
They're still a very good team. Yes, they're still
Never
a very good team. They're still a threat. Yes. No, they're still a very good team. Are they a threat to us? No, because we swept them this year.
They're not a threat to the Packers. I mean, the Packers swept them or whatever, but the Lions are a good football team. And then they get St. Brown. I don't know the situation with him. He was out for the Packer game, which benefited the Packers. And but yeah, so like they can win some games. They're gonna, but I picked the Cowboys. Just because I'm not picking the Lions, you know what I mean? I just didn't feel it. But the Lions could very easily win this game. But I'm taking the Cowboys in this one, you know what I mean? Let's see what people are talking about. Cowboys eliminated the Lions. Packers everything, you know what I mean? Thanks to Cowboys. Yeah, there we go. So that's what I think. Let's keep moving over here. We got the Seahawks. Falcons next in this thing, you know what I mean? So the Seahawks, basically a good team. Falcons not that great of a team, you know what I mean? Seahawks are 9-3. They're a good football team. I expect them to win this game. They're on the road. I don't know if the Falcons. Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks in this thing. I don't even care about this game that much. But let's get to a comment right here. Eric says, I would like to see a Micah beat Reggie White's sack record this season. That would be fantastic. You know what I mean? So Joseph, good question right here. Do you think the Lions make the playoffs? I think it's going to be interesting because can 3 teams from the same division make the playoffs? And the Bears, I expect to kind of go on a kind of, you know what I mean? But I don't know if they'll go that far. You know what I mean? I don't know if they'll fall off that far. I know the Packers. I know what the Packers are about to do. So, maybe not. Maybe not.
It's really tight in the NFC this year. It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be tough because a team like the Seahawks right here, the Seahawks are
you got to look realistically.
Shout out to the Seahawks. I didn't realize that they had 9 wins. But yeah, so I picked them to win that game.
So didn't they say if we beat the Bears, we become the number 1 seed and they drop to the number 7 seed? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that sounds like it could be right because the way this the NFC is, it's just stacked. I'm trying to figure out.
It's an extremely tight. That shows how tight it really is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the Packers are the 6th seed, right? And that's why everyone, the Bears fans are all talking about Packers are the 6th seed. But with a win against the Bears this Sunday, then that changes a lot. And then the Bears they play the Browns and then they play the Packers again. And the Packers, I think they play Denver. In between.
Denver, yes, yeah,
so the Packers have a tough one, you know what I mean? But a lot can change every single week in the NFC when you're trying to stay at the top. We will see. I don't see the Bears doing it. But anyways, here we go. So so we got the Seahawks in this particular ball game. Now we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Taking on the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm not sure if Aaron Rodgers is playing. I don't know the situation with his injury. I'm seeing some of the interviews he's doing. But I have no idea the situation. But I'm taking the Ravens. Ravens are 6-6. Which is bad. Both these teams are 6-6, and it's just so surprising because the Ravens are a much better team. It seems like 6-6, but Lamar Jackson is my fantasy quarterback. not doing well. He's not anymore. Like I got him benched. He's done. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. He's my favorite non-Packer player. But yeah, I'm taking the Ravens in this thing. The Steelers are kind of like they're all over the place. The Steelers fans they want Tomlin fired. They got the chance fire Tomlin. They asked him about this too, like in press conferences. Like that. That's gotta be horrible. Just imagine doing your job and people are like, fire Vinny, fire
Vinny.
You know what I mean?
What?
I wouldn't like that. You know what I mean? Or some days I might agree with them. Like, yeah, do it already. Let me out of here. You know what I mean? But yeah, Eric said the Steelers by 1 in this game. Jay said the Ravens win by 3. You know what I mean?
I agree with Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Jay. I think it will be a close game. I think it's all different too, like with what's going on with Rodgers. Not even is he going to play, but like is he hurt? Is he banged up? Whatever. So we're gonna find out. But next we have the Titans.
Yeah.
We have the most who cares game going on in the world next. You know, this is the most who cares game in the world. We got the Tennessee Titans sitting at what are they at? 1-11, bro. They're looking at the number 1 draft pick. They're the Chicago Bears this year. You know what I mean? And then you got the Cleveland Browns.
Oh God!
Obviously, you know the Packers lost to the Browns. People can say what they want, but they're 3-9. So I got the Browns in this game. They got a good defense. They got Sanders out there doing his thing. I don't know what's going on there, but I know they won a game. He lost again to the Niners, but the you know I'll take the Browns. But who cares really? You know what I mean? Who cares? Do we?
Yeah, I don't remember that Green Bay Cleveland game at all. Did that even happen? I don't remember it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Robert says, Tennessee, Cleveland, just both have fun. Just have fun out there. Let's get it moving. Who cares about these guys? Okay. We have the Colts. We have the Colts taking on the Jaguars. So the Colts are like a team, like earlier in the season, like they were like what everyone was talking about, right? They're sitting at 8-4 right now. They were the number 1 seed for a bit. Then you got the Jaguars also at 8-4, which I thought the Jaguars kind of fell off more than that. But still sitting at 8-4. But I'm taking the Colts in this thing. I don't know if they got injuries. Is that why they're slipping? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know, a ton about either of these teams. You know what I mean? I don't have people feed me information like they do on ESPN. But I'm taking the Colts in this one. You know what I mean? Jay said Colts big over here, and but let's go back to this one. Eric said Browns by 12. All right, there you go. Browns getting after it. I mean, it's a Titans, so it's not like whatever. But yeah, so there we go. And then Jaguars, Eric said, is gonna win this game. So I got the Colts winning, but I think this is a toss up. You know, if the Colts are slipping a little bit, you know what I mean? Like they had the early, I mean, they only have 4 losses each of them. But I think that this could be a toss up. But I'm taking the Colts, so you should probably take the Jags because I'm horrible on my picks. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about that at the end. Who's the top spots and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But Jason said Jags by 9. All right. So Dark Arch Pokeros says Jags, but we're going to keep it moving over here. We got the Commanders taking on the Minnesota Vikings. You know what I mean? The Commanders, a real football team with a real history and real stuff. And then you had the Minnesota Vikings, as Aaron Nagler once said, a plastic team, a plastic franchise. So the Minnesota Vikings sitting over there at 4-8. The Commanders 3-9. You know, the Commanders were a playoff team last year, a team everyone talked about, thought they were going to be, you know, the big cheese this year. They had some injury situations, but things ain't looking good for them. But nonetheless, I'm taking the Washington Commanders to win this particular ball game because they're playing the Minnesota Vikings, who don't have a quarterback.
Exactly.
And like they're running out of them. And I don't know, Viking fans, they don't know who to root for anymore. They're like, no, we wanted the young guy. This is a guy we wanted. He gets smoked. Like, we don't even know that guy. What's going on? So I don't know what the Vikings do, you know, going forward. But they're not going to win a lot of football games. So Jay says the Commanders in this one. Eric says Commanders by 18.
Minnesota was just asking any of their fans if anybody played high school football, if they wanted to suit up and come down on the field. Yeah.
Dark Arch Pokers, I'm going to try betting against Matt every game, $5 to see what happens. You're going to make us some money. You know what I mean? Dan says Washington by 6. We got Mitch over here. Washington will win by 20.
Ooh, geez.
Robert East. He says maybe Washington Vikes can hit the 50 by end of the first quarter. You know what I mean? I think Washington's going to win this game. I think the Vikings are in shambles. I think they're going to continue to fall. I feel like the NFC North, all that, this is the toughest division in football, which it is. But I think one team has to be that team. And it's just never the Packers. You know what I mean? That's what I like because I'm a Packer fan. So I like it that it's always like the Bears or the Vikings. It's been a Lions for like 30 years, and then they kind of took a break from doing that. So now it's the Vikings' turn to be that number 4 garbage team. You know what I mean? Philly boys in house. He said, all I know is it's fun over here. You know what I mean? We're having a good time. All right, so let's keep her moving over here, Vinny. So we have the Dolphins, at the Jets. All right, so first of all, who cares? Does anyone care? Show of hands. Nothing.
Well,
silence. All right.
Wait. Yes, I get to do it this week.
All right, the Dolphins are going to win this game. Who gives a crap? All right, we're going to keep it moving over there. Then we got the Saints and the Bucks. We're going to keep it moving. We're just going to skip that game, people, because that's just a known who. You know what I mean? But the Saints and the Bucks. So the Saints no one cares about, but the Bucks are a good team. They're 7-5. They're up there with the Lions. You know what I mean? In that kind of in the hunt situation. So Baker Mayfield and they came on early. You know, we did some watch parties with the Bucks, and they looked like so much fun to watch. You know what I mean? And if they weren't in the NFC, maybe I wouldn't be maybe even be happy for them. But then they kind of fell off a little bit. We seen them have some bad losses. But I'm taking the Bucks in this because the Saints suck, and I thought I'd take that little bit of time to just give a little shout out to the Bucks. You know what I mean? We got people picking this Dolphins game. Maybe people did care about this Dolphins game. We got Jason the Dolphins. Kevin says, with these bad team games, I check to see who has a better kicker. Oh, Kevin thinks he's like a sorceress. You know what I mean? Anyways, here we go. Eric says Tampa. Philly boy says Baker by a dozen. Oh, I like that. That's slick. That should be a shirt if you were like a Bucs fan. Anyways.
That was pretty good.
Anyways,
yeah.
that was all right. All right, let's keep moving over. We got the Bengals and we got the Bills. All right, so I think that isn't dude back over there?
Burrow's back, so this should
Burrow?
this should be interesting now that Burrow's back. Yes.
Yeah, because they were saying maybe Burrow shouldn't play because of the Bengals are sitting over here at 4-8. The Bills obviously are 8-4. A little different situation. So but he was like, no, I'm playing. If I'm good, what does that show to the other guys if I don't play? So that's interesting to see with Joe Burrow back. I'm taking the Bills in this one. I feel like the Bills need this. They're 8-4. They're trying to do big things in the AFC over there. Joe Burrow just coming back. Is there a slip up, or does Joe Burrow is that dude? You know what I mean? He's that type of dude. But is it too late for the Bengals for them to have fight and to actually
they need to build momentum going into next year now. That's all they need to do. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Robert East, he says, lots of games Vinny could pick to live stream and put us to sleep again.
Oh,
Thanks,
my God. My God.
Jay says Bills by 3. John says Pack turds. Hey, we didn't pick the Packer Bear game yet, but we know where he's going.
It's
He
not
spelled
coming.
it
Okay,
wrong.
yeah. We see
But he
who
knows
he's
who's going to
for.
win that game. You know what I mean? Eric says Buffalo is going to be a big one. Frozen in Buffalo, says Philly boy. Cincy by 4, says Jason. It's too late for the Bengals, says Kevin, and we're gonna keep it moving over here. Dan said I think the Bengals could pull it off. They possibly could, but anyways, we're gonna keep moving. We got the Broncos and we got the Raiders. I think this is like a rivalry game. They don't like each other much over there. The Broncos 10-2, probably the best team in football right now. That a lot of people's opinions. You know what I mean? We're gonna find out because the Packers will play them in a couple weeks against the Raiders, who they're not having a good time in Raiderland. They're 2-10, so I think the Broncos probably beat the crap out of them. I think that's got to be everyone's opinion. It says 99%. That means a lot of Raiders fans are even picking the Broncos. You know what I mean? This is on CBS Sports. So, but 99% of all the people that pick games, you got to figure there's a lot of Raider fans. You know what I mean? And they were like, "No, we're not going to win this one. I don't want to lose my spot." But yeah, Broncos big. Denver by 20, says Dan. But so let's get moving now. Now we have ourselves a ball game we want to talk about, people.
Go, Pack, go!
You know what I mean? We're talking about the Chicago Bears heading off to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. And, dude, this is a game, dude. This is the first meaningful Packers-Bears game in quite some time. We're like, this is going to be for the division. And the fact that there's 2 of these things in 3 weeks. And, like, if you're able to sweep for either of these teams, if you're able to sweep, like, that propels you not just in the NFC North, but in the whole NFC. So this is a huge game. Starting off at Lambeau Field, baby. This rivalry, I would say, I love this rivalry. And since I've been talking about the Packers Bears on the internet for like 10 years, like whether it's through memes or whatever. I love this rivalry. I know Bears fans are all kind of butthurt right now. But like back in the day, I remember I would post memes and Bears fans and Bears pages would comment on it. I was on Bears podcasts, like I'd hang out, I would talk to them. It was all in fun. Like it's all you're all just screwing around. But now people get a little butthurt. You know what I mean? You can't have a little trash talk anymore. Now it gets weird with it. But dude, I'm stoked for this game. I'm glad the rivalry means something again. I don't think it's gonna mean something for very long. I think this is kind of like a little. They kind of played themselves and they kind of had an easy schedule. But you know what I mean? I'll say it. So obviously I'm taking the Packers, but I want to get to the comments here because I want to see what the people think about this Packers game. Travis says 24-16 Packers.
Yeah.
John, the Bears fan, says the Packers 23, Bears 17. All right. I think I might have read that wrong. Nah, I didn't. I think, you got the Packers 23-17 there, John. I agree with you. It could be like that. You know what I mean? I'm probably a little high scorer. But Eric says Packers win to prove they are for real. And that's the thing is like, I've said this about the Bears. Like, if they want to prove they're for real, go into Lambeau Field and beat the Packers at their full strength. Not that they're at full strength, they got injuries, but at full trying. Like last year, with that win, they're getting ready for the playoffs. But beat them in Lambeau Field in this situation, where it's kind of a must-win. It's a very important game. And then you're for real. But it goes both ways for the Packers as well. If you want to show that you're going to be one of those NFC teams that can get after it. The Bears are the number 1 seed. You have the perfect situation. You play them twice in 3 weeks. If you can sweep them, bro, like you are in such a good situation. It goes the same for the Bears if they can sweep the Packers. But so who's going to step up? Are they going to split it? And then that makes things a little bit more interesting, like fighting-wise. You know what I mean?
Can you feel the tension in the air right now? I know I can.
Robert says, Pack win, Bears go for 1st to 7th in the conference. Beat them again in 2 weeks. We'll never hear from them again this year.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Cody says, having a fat tire beer here with my Packers score prediction. I say Packers 34, Bears 31. There you go. You got a close one over there.
They're always close. I agree. They're always close. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to see. I don't know about the Bears scoring that many points in the Packers defense. You know what I mean? But I like it. Packers 34-26, and I'll be on the 50-yard line. Road 2. There you go, Mitch. Shout out to Mitch over here. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mitch. You get after. Represent. Be loud. You know what I mean? Those are good seats right there. Mitch has been following me for a long time. You know what I mean?
Now, Mitch is going to be at the game, but don't worry, everybody. Matt posted this earlier. Coverage for the Bears-Packers game is going to be most of the country. So as you can see right there.
Yeah, most of the country can watch the Packers beat the Bears.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So unless you're in those little spots, I ain't no geographer, but you know what I mean? You don't want to live there anyways. I'm just kidding. Shout out to everyone who lives there. People live there like, hey, now.
Hey. Yeah.
Packers sweep Bears and this sweep division a year after going 1-5 in the division. And that's the thing. Obviously, that was a focal point for the Packers coming into this season. They were very horrible in the division last year. That's a very important thing. So this year they were like, hey, let's not do that. You know what I mean? And they go off and just start, sweeping the lines, and the Bears got to be next. John says Bears and Pack Turds played the same teams. There you go. You know what I mean? And dude, and we didn't, but the Bears didn't play all the teams the Packers played. Like, that season isn't over. They're Johnny Boy. You know what I mean? Dude.
But we still have to play each other. Yeah.
Yeah, we play each other. So like all the talk, that's why the talk this year doesn't really seem as meaningful. It doesn't matter. They play each other twice in 3 weeks. So it doesn't matter what I say, all the trash talk, all the, hey, you had 2 quarterbacks in 30 years, blah, 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 and all that. We say, well, you haven't done nothing since 1985, nah. We all say the same stuff, but that's what it is. They play each other twice in 3 weeks, and we're going to find out who's who. We gonna find out, dude. I don't think the Bears are for real. I don't think that offense can contain against the Packers defense. Yeah, they did what they did against the Eagles, and that was impressive. And I'll give them props for that. But like, dude, you ain't faced the Packers defense yet with Micah Parsons. He's gonna be hunting down Caleb Williams. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. And, you know what I mean? And they're going to say the same stuff about the Packers. That's the thing. But they're going to face each other. And then we're going to find out what's what. Jason says it's going to be a whooping 31-10 Packers over here.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, I vote for that one. You know what I mean? Robert is over here. Vinny, just leave the map in the middle of the screen the whole stream. Look, he's like, I don't want to look at this man no more.
Actually, Robert, I've got a better one. Matt and I have a better one. Now, Fox Sports wanted to show the best odds for teams that could make it to the Super Bowl. And here are the teams here. And have you noticed that a certain number 1 seed team isn't in this list?
Dude, here's the thing for people listening on the audio. All right, you got the 2025 Super Bowl odds. This is gambling, DraftKings. They got 1, you got the Rams. 2, you got the Seahawks. 3, you got the Packers. You got the Bills, Eagles, Patriots, Denver, Colts, Kansas City, and Ravens. So that's who they, all the betting odds. That's your top 9. The Bears ain't there. And I've seen Bears fans crying about this. And they're like, why aren't we there? Because it's betting. When you can talk all you want on the internet about who you think's going to win a game, but when you're putting your money on it, yeah, you use your brain a little bit because that's your money. You're not betting real money. Who's betting real money on the Bears to win the Super Bowl? Not many. That's why the top 9, they're not there. You know what I mean? Because no one actually thinks it's going to happen. Everyone knows what's about to happen. The betting people know what's about to happen. The Bears are about to get smoked. They're about to lose a lot of football games. So, you know what I mean? If you put money on the Bears, I guess you make more money. I don't know how that works. I never really bet on games like that. I did the prize pick stuff, but you know what I mean? But anyways, but yeah, I got the Packers this one. You know what I mean? No one's betting on the Bears, dude. Even Bears fans, I like my money. But Philly boy over here, we're going to get to a few more, and then we're going to move on. Yeah. Bears better get Nicolay Law on speed dial because they are about to be assaulted in front of 80,000. You know what I mean? And I do like talking Packers, Bears, and we're going to have a full show tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we're just going to talk, the upcoming game, Packers, Bears.
Or Friday.
We're not going to do a trivia show, although we might throw in some fun little trivia stuff about Packers and Bears. But we're going to have a whole show just to talk, because I do love all these comments and everyone chiming in, but we have to get the rest of them. But Kevin says Baltimore has a better Super Bowl odds than the current NFC number 1 seed, and they lost their starting quarterback for half the season. Yeah, they're 6-6, and they have better odds.
Kev is
than
being
the Bears
brutal.
Do, according to the bet.
Kev is brutal.
The betting folks. And then people are acting like it's not real because it's betting folks. Like, no, when people are putting their money on it, that's when it really matters. Like, if you want to know, I've heard someone else say it before back in the day about the MVP. They say, if you really want to know who the most likely to win MVP, look at the betting odds. Because the people who are throwing money on it, they're really looking into it, and they're they kind of know a little bit. Doesn't mean it's always correct, but you follow the money. You know what I mean? You got to follow the money. Jason over here, he says Packers 52, Bears 10. Oof. Dude, I like that. Dude, if that happens, bro, it'll be the best watch party ever. We're going to have a good time. Frozen temps sounds like a quick trip for Chicago. You know what I mean? It is going to be a little bit chilly. I might be down there pregame doing some stuff, but we're going to get to one more comment, then we're going to move on over here. Robert says, I put my money on the Bengals to make the playoffs before I bet anything on the Bears.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears
yes, they do. You know what I mean? And we about to show everyone just how much the Bears suck. Come Sunday, 3:25 p.m. Central Time. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to keep moving over here on these picks. We got a few more games that people don't care about. You know what I mean? We got the Rams taking on the Cardinals. Cardinals sitting at 3-9. Rams over here at 9-3. Devontae Adams doing his thing over there. The Rams are a good football team. They lost to who did they lose to just last week? The bad team that helped the Bears get over the hump over there. But they lost to someone. But the Rams are a good football team. The Rams are going to win that thing. That's all you need to know about that. All right, let's get moving over there because shout out to Devontae Adams though. He's having a good time over there. We got the Texans taking on the Chiefs. All right, Chiefs 6-6. All right, Texans over there at 7-5, huh? But dude, it's crazy because the Texans 7-5, and on CBS land, 66% of people pick the Chiefs to win, and they're 6-6, worst record. But you know what I mean? People just I think when you win a lot of games like the Chiefs has and Patrick Mahomes, it's tough to pick against them. I got the Chiefs in this thing.
I picked the Texans in this one because they're kind of on a roll. So
yeah, I got the Chiefs because they back against the wall. You know what I mean? But you're probably right. That's why you're a lot higher on the ratings than I am.
Well, this is my take a chance pick. So yeah.
Yeah. Kevin said, you do a watch party for Sunday night this week. That might be a boring game. No, I did I do it for last week or this week? No, I don't know.
No, if we cover the Packer game, that's a 3:25.
Yeah, I won't be doing Sunday Night Football. But yeah, we got Texans. Philly Boy says Texans. Texans finish off Kelsey's career. That's kind of
there. You go.
Take it easy. What's up, Frosty the Snowman? Let's go, Packers. Yeah, we just talked. You missed it. You're late. You know what I mean? All of them teams are not as good as the Packers. Absolutely not. But yeah, I got the Chiefs. I think backs against the wall. They're 6-6. They got to prove some stuff. I just can't bet against them. Not that I'm betting money or whatever. I just think, but like you said, the Texans are on a roll. They're getting some stuff going. So you know, I think it's gonna be a battle. But I'm taking the Chiefs in that thing. But all right. So moving on next. We got ourselves. All right, so
Monday
we're
night
already
game,
at
which we'll cover.
Or Monday Night Football. Yeah,
we'll cover this one on Monday night.
That's what Kevin was talking about. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Yeah, but that's a Sunday football game. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that game. But on Monday Night Football, we will be doing, and it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 8-4, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, also 8-4. So the Eagles had a bad loss. You know what I mean? You lose to the Bears. That makes you start like rethinking life. Like, what happened? What are we doing? Let's regroup. Let's have player-only meetings. You know what I mean? We lost to the Bears. So I think that they're going to be all ready to go. But I'm taking the Chargers in this one anyways. I don't know why I picked them, but I think the Eagles are probably – no, I'm going to change my pick. I'm taking the Eagles in that game. I got to switch that. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. But, yeah, I think the Chargers are a good team, and they're going to be battling all that stuff too. But I think the Eagles, after going down to the Bears, they're going to be fired up. Let's see what people are talking about in the chat. Let me see if I can find my mouse here. Okay, Travis said Herbert is banged up. Eagles big. All right, so I didn't know that. Yeah, but Eric says the Chargers are going to upset. So now I don't know what to think. But no, I'm taking the Eagles in this one just because I think they're going to be so fired up from losing to the Bears and an NFC opponent. You know, propelling them to the number 1 seed. Everyone's talking about it. I'm sure that Philadelphia press is all over them. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if Herbert's not there, go Eagles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if the Eagles, if Herbert's banged up at all, the Eagles don't need a lot, but I just think the Eagles are gonna be so fired up, and then their offense was just atrocious. They just weren't good against the Bears. They couldn't stop the run for nothing. But Mitch says Eagles are a mess. Their fans are against them. Go Chargers. You know, I would prefer the Chargers to win that game.
Me too.
You know, why not?
But
yeah, I got the Eagles in that though. I just think that they're going to be fired up. You know what I mean? And there it is. You know what I mean? Those are your picks. So if you haven't made your picks yet for Thursday Night Football, be sure to do that. So Vinny, let's check out the leaders in this thing. Let's see who's taking over because you know the number 1 spot.
No, we don't need to look at it.
Oh, so you've fallen. Vinny has fallen in the rankings.
Well, it says 3rd place, but technically it's 2nd if you look at it
all
here.
Right, let's not be
it's 1 point off. I mean,
you're
no.
You're in 3rd place. Accept the L.
I'll accept it. Yes, I did drop down one.
So first place we have Brian Krezig. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. And the first place deserves to have his name said right. What do you think it is, Vinny? Say that name.
I'll call it the S will probably be silent, and I'll say Craig. Craig.
All right, that's wrong.
Brian Craig. I don't know.
So Brian Craig or
Craigie.
That'd be the weirdest way to spell
how about just for fun we'll call it Craigie. Just for fun, Craigie, because that sounds funny.
It's Krezig. I think it's Krezig. All right.
Krezig?
He's not going to watch. But anyway, shout out to Brian. First, also tied with Brian with 136 points is Larry Mortensen. All right, a lot easier name to say. And then 3rd place over here, Matthew Warnes. Then we have Melissa M. Crowley. And that's all it shows. And there's a little bit more, but I can't see it.
Yeah, like
and
Melissa
then,
something.
Melissa. And then we have Sean Johnson. And then that's it.
He always
then
leaves me
Steven
off.
Zybel, also known as Vinny the producer,
Yeah,
over here,
Vinny
so
the
he's
producer,
tied for
yeah.
third place. And then tied, and then we got seventh place, Reliable Random, Jesse West, and Peter Purcell, all tied up at seventh. And where am I exactly?
Okay, now you were
You
in
had
the
to scroll like you're
90s.
playing that game.
You're
A
93rd.
fortune over here.
93rd.
I'm a 93rd, and I'm
Yep.
tied for 93rd, but I'm the first one on the list. You know what I mean? So that's.
But when you
something.
look at it,
Me and Nicole are
120
rocking out
Yeah.
over here at 93rd place.
But if you look at it, you got 122 points, and the top is 136. So you're really not bad.
Yeah,
You know?
not good either. You know what I mean? You either win or you lose. All right, and right
Yeah.
now I'm losing. Kevin says 11th place here, and I missed the Thursday pick because Matt was getting me drunk. Y'all blame me right away. That was my whole mission every night. I was like, hey, Kevin, want a drink? And he's like, again? Well, yeah. I was like, yo, this is going to happen. We're going to do this. We on vacation, baby. You know what I mean, Travis? He's over here. He's breaking the chat, honey.
Seeing Philly boy,
Phil is 9
35th?
back, so he's 35th place. All right, so there you go, Phil. Shout out to Rosie right underneath you. We got Pete above you a little bit. You know, some good names right here. I like them.
Yeah.
Like Phil's like, find me.
Yeah, he wants to be included. Hey, and so yeah, and to remind everybody too, this weekend is the anniversary of the 1978 blizzard. So if you think it's cold, just remember when I was 8, this is what it looked like.
No,
in
you were an
1978.
8, bro. You drove in that thing. Is that you in that picture you're showing right there? Is that you?
That was Sasquatch, actually. Sasquatch.
I wasn't born yet, dude.
It snowed a lot.
I wasn't even born until that snow melted. That next summer.
Dude, we
probably.
were out of school for almost a week from that snowstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? But yeah, we got some snow. You know, I don't mind the snow. I don't want that, obviously, but like I don't mind snow. People talk about that, like Southern people, like, oh, now all the people in the North are crying. I mean, I love snow. I mean, it sucks. You don't want to go in a ditch and you hate driving it and stuff. But like the cold isn't that bad because like you go out of your house into your truck, it's heated. You already got it running. You go into stores or to work. You're not hanging out outside. And people are like, I mean, you got a shovel and whatnot, but I would take that over like the reptiles they have running around the South. You get people just getting eaten. Like what happened to little Billy? Oh.
He was
Alligator.
playing by the pond.
Alligator got him. You know what I mean? I don't need that no place. I see pictures and stuff. They got like, just like regular insects that are like super duper insects. You don't need that.
Oh, there's some big ones down in Florida. Yeah. When I lived down there, there's some big things down there. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do a few comments over here. Robert says, I wonder, I remember walking up the hills both ways sideways during that blizzard. I did.
Oh, yeah.
I think she was up in there, because she used to always talk about that.
See, Bob will say
up.
that there was a lot of snow that year. That was huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I bet so many women got knocked up during that blizzard. That's Travis. That's not my original thought. People listen on the audio.
Like Mrs. Ramage, maybe.
Hey, I was born that next year. I was born in 79. I'm telling you. All right, so appreciate y'all watching Thursday Night Football. We have a stream coming up. You know what I mean?
Cowboys Lions tomorrow. Yep.
And then Friday we'll be hanging out 7:30 p.m. Central Time, just talking about the Packers Bear game. Just to chat, just back and forth, just a
little bit of trivia thrown in, nothing big. Yeah.
Live stream. Hang out, you know what I mean? Let's get psyched up for this game over here on Sunday. Appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate you listening. If you're not listening, you missed this, come at the end. You can listen to audio on the podcast. The Matt Ramage Show, available Apple, Spotify, all the places. If you're listening on the podcast, go subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, or all the other places that you might be. You know what I mean? You're probably not on Facebook.
Do it!
All right, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. Go Pack Go.